The best books that I read in 2018. Get ready for it, they're really good. Hi everyone, I'm here today to discuss, as I've already said, the best books that I read in 2018, and I have them all here in front of me. It's the top 5, the ones that I really loved and that have stuck with me since I read them, and obviously I love them because, you know, this would be a pointless video otherwise. The first book that I'm going to talk about is a book that I'm going to cover a spoiler that is on the front of the cover, as I've done every single time I've talked about the book, and it's In Bloom by CJ Skews. This was one of my favourite books of the year. I talked about how much I loved it when I read it earlier in the year, well, not earlier in this year, earlier in 2018. And it is the follow-up to Sweet Pea, and it's about Rhiannon, who makes very amusing and very dark-humoured kill lists about all the people that she wishes to off. Everybody who pees her off, from the checkout man at the local Lidl to sex offenders that she sees on TV. Anybody who pees her off ends up on a kill list, and then Rhiannon ends up sort of spiralling out of control a bit. Things start going wrong, and some of these things should not be amusing, and yet they are hilarious. If you've got a dark sense of humour and you enjoy a thriller, I can't recommend these two books enough to you. By two books I mean the first one, Sweet Pea, and In Bloom. They are brilliant, they're hilarious, they're dark, they're sick, but they're funny. And for that reason, In Bloom is on my top 5. The next book that I've got is this one, The Island by M.A. Bennett. I absolutely love this. This is about a boy called Lincoln who is from America and he's going to a very prestigious British school. Read as prestigious as a little bit pompous, very, very pompous. However, unfortunately for Lincoln, or Link as he likes to be called, everybody at this school is obsessed with sports, or games as they call it. We had games at school, games, sports, whatever, same thing. They are obsessed with it, and there is a hierarchy based on whether you're good at sports or you're not. Side note, I would be at the bottom of the pile. I was rubbish at sports, always have been, always will be. And Link, he's bad at sports too, so I feel sort of an affinity with Link here. And he is basically bottom of the bottom. Nobody likes him, he has hardly any friends, and he gets slightly picked on. But then his parents say, you know what, you don't have to go back anymore. You can leave, Link, but one thing I want you to do is to go on this holiday thing that they're going on. I think it's some sort of a summer camp. You're going on a summer camp. If you agree to go along with it, we'll let you drop out. So Link thinks, brilliant, I'm going on this little summer camp and then I'm never seeing any of these freaks again. But the plane goes down and then they're on the island, and then we find out what happens next. It was brilliant. 5 out of 5 stars. I love this. I love M.A. Bennett's work. M.A. Bennett has written another book called Stags, which was fantastic, one of the best books I've ever read. So if you like a bit of YA, if you like really good writing, if you like engaging stories, why wouldn't you read The Island? The next book that I'm going to talk about is this one. This is obviously a proof copy. This is The Binding by Bridget Collins. If you haven't seen the finished copy of this book, look it up. Pause this video, don't click out, you need to watch the rest of it, it's brilliant. Look up the finished product of The Binding and, wow. This is a book unlike anything I've read before. I finished it right at the end of 2018, I read it in December, and it snuck in there as one of my top 5 of the year. It is amazing. I don't normally read books with sort of a fantastical element to them, which this does. It incorporates a bit of magical realism, and it is just unlike anything I've read before, and I don't know how much to say without spoiling it for you. I went into this blind, and I think that was the right choice to make because I didn't know anything about it, and I just loved it. Picture this book as sort of a delicious meal. You want to savour it, you want to take each little bit as it goes, you're not going to just wolf it down. This is not a McDonald's, this is a Marco Pierre White. You want to read this really slowly, take your time with it, absorb the imagery, absorb the atmosphere, and just take it in. I love this. All I knew when I went into it is that this is about a boy called Emmett who works on the fields with his family, and one day the letter arrives to tell Emmett that he has to go and work in a bindery with a woman who binds books. There's a huge sort of dark secret around these binding of the books and around the binderies in general and the binders who do it. Emmett doesn't know what this dark secret is, but he soon finds out, and it is amazing. So that's why it's in my top 5. The next book that I've got is actually a trilogy, but I'm going to count it as one because why not? It's the Hunger Games trilogy. I've gone on about this in my real life so much that everybody now knows that I'm obsessed with the Hunger Games. I am late to the game, as it were. Everybody else seems to have read this, watched the films and seen everything all about it, know exactly what it's about. My battery keeps dying. I'm having a really bizarre day with electricals in here today, so that's 2 fully charged batteries have fully drained themselves. If you see my haunted house video, you might be able to put 2 and 2 together and come up with your own conclusions. If not, you need to look up that video. But I was talking about the Hunger Games. They have been amazing. I can't believe I didn't know about them till now, and so I'm collectively putting them together as one. Yes, I'm cheating, I know, but I'm doing it. And the final book in my top 5 of 2018 is this one, An Unwanted Guest. This, I have talked about this non-stop. I love this book. I've recommended it to everyone and people have read it and loved it too, which has been brilliant. This is by Shari LaPena, and this is a story about a group of people who are all unknown to one another, and they all head off to an abandoned, it's not abandoned, they all head off to an inn, a secluded inn is what I was trying to say, in the middle of nowhere, where one of the selling points is that you don't get Wi-Fi, you don't get mobile phone signal. It's a retreat, a place that you go to cut off from the world. Unfortunately, the weekend that these people choose to turn up to this secluded location happens to be the weekend that a murderer is in the location, and also the weekend where all the snow hits and you can't get out and you can't escape and you're all locked up with the murder mystery. It's like Cluedo. It's like an epic game of Cluedo in novel form with brilliant writing, very atmospheric. Just perfect, especially for winter. So get this read before winter goes, because this is just fantastic. So those are my top 5 of 2018. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know if you're going to. And obviously feel free to let me know what your top books were as well, because I'm always looking for more books to add to my ever-growing TBR. So I'm going to go now and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.